Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you are all doing well. Derby, Juventus versus Torino, we know how important the derby is. What is a derby? When two teams from the same city are playing against each other, and we know that derbies are always a game that you can't predict. Why? Because the both teams from the same city, they want to fight against each other, they want to beat the other one, because then for weeks and weeks and weeks, when they will meet each other in the city, they will mock each other. We know it. It is banter. And of course, there are some big derbies with two big teams. Inter versus Milan, for example. Roma versus Lazio. Juventus is in the same city as Torino. Torino is not a top team. We know that. But nevertheless, Juventus will have to beat Torino. Torino will give their life, especially now with a trainer like Juric that is playing really aggressively and that are pressing a lot. I was watching some stats yesterday. Torino is maybe the team that is pressing the most in Serie A. We will speak about the Derby della Mole. We will speak about some players that yes or no will leave or will arrive to Juventus. So I'm speaking about mercato, of course, and then speaking about the lineups. A lot of things to be said in that video. Put a maximum of like if you love the channel, if you want the channel to grow. I'm counting on you. Just a like and subscribe to the channel. Guys, after the intro, we start with the video. The first news I want to report to you is that yesterday Hernanes, the prophet, Il Profeta, was in La Continassa. He went for a visit to say hello to everyone. He said hello and spoke with Massimiliano Allegri. Maybe they were speaking about that crazy derby of 2015-2016 when Hernanes was playing that game. Do you remember when Juventus was starting really bad in the season and we had to wait until the derby versus Torino, until the 93rd minute? You remember fino alla fine, until the end, where Cuadrado scored that minute at the 93rd minute. He was there. He played all that game. Hernanes was there. Hopefully he can bring us a lot of joys also for this derby. We go with the front pages of the Italian sport papers, Corriere dello Sport. Are they speaking about Juventus? Absolutely not. They are speaking about yesterday, altro pianeta, another planet. Who are they referring to? They are referring to Liverpool that beat yesterday Inter 2-0. We spoke about it yesterday on the channel. The link is here, you just click on it and then you will go and you will watch what I thought as a Juve fan about that game. Are they speaking about Juventus? No, so we go immediately to Gazzetta dello Sport. I told you we have a lot of things to say today. Gazzetta dello Sport are also speaking about Inter si mangia le mani. Like this, Inter is eating their hand. That's an expression in Italian to say they did their best. They were about to win, but at the end they lost. Guys, they lost again. I spoke yesterday about that on the channel. And then in really teeny, they are speaking also about the derby della Mole, Vlahovic, Bremer, and a lot of other duels in that game, because after Demiral, Vlahovic will have to play versus Bremer. Bremer, that is a player that a lot of Serie A teams are looking for. There is Inter, there is also Juventus that really want the player. Let's see what will happen there. And then we continue with Klopp 50, because he's the ninth coach that the eighth coach that is able to win 50 games in Champions League, with a lot of big names there. I just wanted to tell you that Allegri already has 45 wins in Champions League, combining Milan and Juventus. We don't have a coach that is that bad, because in the history of Champions League, he's there. 5 more wins and he's there. We continue with Marca, because they are speaking about the son of Maradona, who is saying este partido es el perfecte homenaje para mi viejo. This game will be the best tribute to my father. Speaking about Barcelona and Napoli that will play versus each other this evening. They will play not in Champions League but in UEFA Europa League. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. It happens. It happens also to big teams. I speak about Barcelona. Napoli is probably where they have to be. Tutto sport, peccato. Oh, a pity that they lost. Vlahovic come Ibra. Vlahovic like Ibra. These are the words of Capello, and that's why without waiting we will go inside the sport page, because inside Capello made a big interview about Vlahovic, saying he's like my Ibrahimovic. When I was at Juventus, he came from Ajax, he was a great player that had a lot of skills, nearly everything, but I told him, to Ibrahimovic at the time, we are speaking about 2005, 2006, Capello said him, you have to be better in your technique. You have to train on your technique. Do you remember that funny anecdote when Capello took him here and he put him in a room, closed the door with a VHS, with actually a video showing all the goals of big strikers like Van Basten, saying you have to become better in your technique and score more goals, and Ibrahimovic became what he became, one of the best and greatest players of the world, of course, another level than Ronaldo, Pelé, Maradona, Messi, but he's not far away. He became a really strong player. If Vlahovic can become an Ibrahimovic, I would be really happy. Not only that, because he spoke about the fact that he has never been a big lover of Dybala, not as a person, but as a football player. Why? Because he was only technique and absolutely not sacrificing himself for the team as he should have done. He said, in the last games I saw a Dybala ready to sacrifice himself for the team, and he played like a real leader, like a real captain should have done. If he continue to play like that, if he's able to continue, he will be a really great player. And then I appreciate him. I love the words of Capello, that is not a hater. He has not an agenda against the player, but he's able to say something. Del Piero yesterday at Sky, he said Juventus, before the arrivals of Zakaria and Vlahovic, they needed to win. And the difference after the winter mercato is that now they want to win. What a big difference, and that's also what the Juventus supporters are really liking. Juventus with Allegri will probably go for the tris. What did that mean? Before and after Milan, after Milan, Allegri said there will be 3 games in Serie A that will be nearly the same. Sassuolo, Atalanta, and then Torino. The same level, no, but kind of the same way of playing. Really aggressive, really pressing. Some teams that are playing like that, and that's why probably we will see kind of the same lineups, not with the same men because Danilo is not there, for example, but kind of the same lineup in formation. 4-3-2-1, 4-3-1-2, let's see, but that kind of formation, not with a two-man midfield. Sulla destra c'è il gioco delle coppie. On the right side of the field, they will be the kind of duels with the team. We know that Allegri, he doesn't play with single players in single position. He's always looking at who is in front or behind the players, and that's why he's using kind of couples. If De Sciglio is playing, probably you will see a McKennie. Why? Because De Sciglio on the right side of the field is a bit more defensive than a Quadrado. That means that McKennie can go a bit more up and support Dybala. If, on the other hand, Quadrado is playing on the right side of the field, he's a bit more offensive, so he will go up. That means that Zakaria will stay a bit more in the back and will help and support Quadrado. Guys, this is actually how Allegri is thinking. Not a single player on the field, but how are they matching? And that's why probably we'll see De Sciglio on the right and Zakaria in the middle of the field. Who knows? Maybe with Arthur, so that Locatelli can rest for the big game versus Villarreal. Let's see what will happen. We continue about the training of yesterday. Zakaria, that is ready, saying I'm ready for my first derby. Locatelli played his first derby with Juve Torino. He scored. McKennie scored in his first derby, Juve Torino. Let's see if Zakaria can score also in his first derby. I can't wait to see that. And then we see Rabiot. But what I want to point in the training of yesterday is look behind Rabiot. What do you see? You need some beautiful eyes to see what's happening, because you see De Ligt speaking with Vlahovic, two beasts. The beasts are together. Hey, the champions, they understand because they speak the same language. The language of the champions. Bernardeschi, we didn't see him because he's not ready yet, so he will probably miss the game versus Torino, the derby, but he will probably be there on the bench versus Villarreal, so a bit more wait for Bernardeschi. And then we go into the mercato section, guys. Again, a longer video, 9 minutes. Yesterday I asked you if you were still there after 8 minutes. Today I'm asking you if you're still there after 9 minutes. And also, if you already put the like on the video after 9 minutes, let me know. What about the future? What about the mercato? Juventus is thinking about something that is really important. What are they speaking about in the closed rooms of La Continassa, in the beautiful meeting rooms? They are speaking about one really important key strategy. What about the number 6? What do we want to do with that position? If we give that position to Locatelli, the number 6, the regista, the brain of how we played actually since the beginning of the season until now, if we give him that position, we sacrifice maybe some skills from him to play as a box-to-box, but we have someone we can rely on. Is it enough for Allegri, yes or no? Then we will go for a mezzala, a box-to-box player like, for example, Pogba, or maybe, and that's what I'm saying, maybe Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, just to give you a bit the type of player that Juventus can go if Locatelli becomes that number 6. If we are not going towards Locatelli playing in that number 6, then maybe we will not go to players like Pogba, Milinkovic-Savic, but we will go to type of players that are able to play that regista role. A bit like the Pirlo, a bit like the Pjanic that Allegri was playing with. So let's see, because that will be a really important one for our midfield of the future. What about Fagioli? Because he can be one of the future players of Juventus. His agent Andrea D'Amico said it was really beneficial for Fagioli to play in Cremonese. And at our first in Serie B, he's doing a fantastic season. Second to in terms of assists in Serie B, he's doing a fantastic season. But the agent himself said it was super beneficial for him to play with continuity, with consistency in a team where he was really central in the project. Something that he couldn't have in Juventus. So you know that a lot of supporters are saying it was a bad choice from Juve. We have to wait for the young guys and so on. Even them, they are saying it was maybe the best choice they could do. What about the future? Let's see, because there will be some meetings to understand if Fagioli will come back immediately or not. Juventus is also thinking about the left side of the field, and this time they are thinking about Bensebaini. Bensebaini, Algerian player, that is playing in Bundesliga, Borussia Mönchengladbach, like Zakaria. He will have one more year of contract with the German club. They are speaking about 10 million euro for that player, because we know that Alexandro is not anymore a starter of Juventus. If you look at what kind of games Alexandro is playing, then you understand that he's not anymore someone that Allegri is trusting a lot. Will there be a team that will buy him, yes or no? We don't know, because he will have 1 year of contract left. So if he leaves, it's not for a lot of money, but his salary is really big. So let's see if Bensebaini will be the target, or if we will go for Cambiaso, an Italian young left back. And we finish with the last news. Told you it would be a longer video. Antonio Conte is crying again. He's always crying, always crying. I know that a lot of people were saying, we want Conte back at Juventus. Guys, I'm over with Antonio Conte, because wherever he goes, in whatever team, he's always crying. What is he crying about this time? He's saying that Tottenham became weaker after the mercato, because they let 4 players leaving. They only had 2, that Bentancur and Kulusevski are good players, but they are absolutely not ready. They are young players that they need time to become. I don't know. Bentancur has probably more experience in Champions League than all the players of Tottenham put together. It is what it is. Conte is crying. It will never change. I'm happy that he's not crying at Juventus. Guys, that was it for the video of today. Probably tonight, or live, or another video about European football. You know that it is Barcelona, Napoli. Let's see. Thank you. Forza Juve.